What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 69.
69.
Nice.
The fans have been waiting for this one.
Nice.
I think they're expecting us to say or do something just completely outlandish.
I got
No
nothing.
Leaf has worn that number.
I got nothing.
We can't go there.
Are we an 18 plus pod?
No, I know for a fact we're not. But this is. I did do some research on the origin of why 69 became a thing today. And so here's
what you're saying is your Internet Explorer searches have been deleted.
I use the coworkers login. It's typically between week 6 and 9 of our relationship where that shit just ends, and that's where 69 comes from.
Is that legit?
That position typically burns out after week 9.
That position?
I just made that up.
Wow.
But it's our season preview.
Off the rails.
I'll edit that out. It's our season preview.
When you said season preview, you almost put your hands in the air like a school.
I did. Woo!
Yeah.
Because I'm happy. I'm fired up for this season.
I agree. I was the pod was a lot of fun last night, or not last night. Last week. Sorry.
Yeah, it kind of got us into the mood a little bit.
I was pumped not to talk about contracts.
Yes,
I'm done with that.
I'm done. Like, we don't have one coming up for a very long time.
You tried to poke me on the weekend, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take part in this anymore.
I was just testing you for content. See if we're still going there or not.
I was pretty angry.
No, I know. Oh, and then we did go on this. This is great. We went on this. These really nice guy who does a Buffalo Sabres podcast asked us to come on.
Yeah.
And so we did it like a half hour yesterday. We've already retweeted it and stuff like that. So if you've listened to it, great. But as soon as the guy said he wanted to talk about the Marner contract situation, and Sean said,
"Fuck that!
I'm not fucking talking about anything like that." That was great. So I just handled the question, give about a 1-minute answer.
I thought it was funny.
Ah, it was great. No, it was us, because we had to be pretty straight for this guy. We didn't know where to go with him, so that was our one Left Coast Leafs podcast moment. It was awesome. So I've been texting Wyatt for 3 days. He's not getting back to me. I'm like, obviously the guy's probably out of town. So I just went down there today. I phoned down today, and they said, yeah, he's out of town. So I went down, and I'm going to get the beer. So it's in a bag. I know what it is. You don't.
Oh, you actually had to buy it?
I had to buy it.
Wow.
Yeah.
The sponsor
I'm
just
filing a complaint.
shit the bed.
Yeah, I may go look at Liquor Plus, possibly maybe switch over from Liquor Planet. But I thought, okay, so because Wyatt's always kind of thinking cleverly around what's the meaning of this time of year, season, episode number. So this is two monumental occasions. It's the season preview, and it's episode 69.
It's like a sex beer.
Yeah. No. So I thought, okay, what would WWD? What would Wyatt do, right?
Yeah.
And so Hoyne Brewery makes a pale ale called Down Easy.
Oh.
Down Easy for episode 69. I love craft beer.
Did you laugh at yourself when you were buying it?
I laughed out loud. Cooler guy gave me a dirty look.
Cooler guy.
I haven't seen him around. I think maybe
What side of the cooler was he on, though?
I think maybe that incident might have been the end of Cooler Guy.
Do you think he listens to the pod?
No, but I had him fired. I had him fired.
You have that ability?
I do have
that
ability.
That pull?
Yeah. The people that they give free beer to have the ability to call the shots.
But you paid for this beer.
Yes, I did. And Hoyne is a local brewery.
So you're supporting it.
Yeah, we're going to support it. Down Easy Pale Ale. Read it. I could.
You don't want to?
Nah, I don't want it. You read it, though. And we'll start pouring.
And in the beginning, word came forth, let there be ale, and let there be the color of barley in the summer, and let it paradoxically both quench and create great thirst. Who are we to disagree? Sit back, take it easy, enjoy the slow ride.
See, I'm glad you did that, because I would have struggled with paradoxically.
I saw it, I was like, ooh.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Why are we here tonight?
This is a big week. I can't remember the last time I was this excited for like a season start. Probably like when Matthews and Marner came on the team like that, but that was coming off like we were the worst team in the NHL. Mm-hmm. But like this is a different level of excitement. Like this is this is an exciting year.
I'm more excited than I was a week ago. Like something like once the final roster's posted, I think this is going to be like, I don't want to over.
Are you ready to dial in?
I am really ready to dial in on the season here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think they're just going to shit kick Ottawa in game 1?
You know what? I don't think I don't think that. I don't say that stuff out loud.
Did you see? I saw some reporters tweeting the line combos in Edmonton. Like it's rough. Oh man.
Woof.
Like you got 2 of the top 10 players in the NHL, and then it's just like Nugent Hopkins and nothing.
Oh, it is not good.
No.
Like there's enough players on waivers that were today that are better than the players they have on their wings right now.
Do you think Edmonton goes deep into waivers today?
Well, I don't know how that works because you can only claim so many guys, and what's the releasability of the guys they have, right? Like, can they waive them?
Like
they're up against the cap.
Like Nick Patan can play in that lineup.
He could play in their top 6.
Yes,
he could.
Yeah,
he'd be better, right? And a guy can't. I'm not saying we're just a be all to end all. He just doesn't fit with us because we have a lot of like entry level depth, but that could be I bet you he's clamoring for that opportunity.
And so obviously today's a big day because the roster start to really take shape. So some interesting things came out of it where they sent down. Let's talk about who they. Do we want to talk about who they kept?
Sure,
or who
let's
they
talk
sent
about
down?
who they kept. Yeah.
So who they kept at the end of the back or the back end of the lineup was obviously Sandin and Liljegren on the back end. Mm-hmm. That I think that's huge.
Yeah, Liljegren surprised me.
Timoshaw up front with Shore, Spezza, and the Goat rounding out our bottom 4 for the fourth line.
Our 4-man fourth line.
Timoshaw must have really impressed in camp, or I saw an interesting tweet today that his contract gets the Leafs within $10,000 of the actual cap, where this allows the Leafs to absolutely maximize their LTIR with like 13 some odd $million. Do you think that is he made the team or he was just put on the team because of number of reasons?
It's kind of like the kid that made the team because his dad was going to be the manager and nobody else wanted that shitty job of booking hotels. Like,
wow.
You know, I mean,
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like he's
a reference.
He's there for reasons other than that he made the team. I mean, he's right there. He was even projected to be right there, right? But
what an example. That is so harsh.
But like reasons other than just hockey is why he's there. And he could go up and down depending on how the roster goes. But I also heard though that they like
sources?
like him as I saw on Twitter that they like him, but from one of the insider sources that they like him as a penalty killer. I didn't think they were lacking forwards to do that, maybe D, but they do say like they like the way he fits into their penalty kill. So you got to have somebody from the fourth line killing penalties. Can't tire those guys out doing that all the time unless you're a guy like Marner, who's like almost a one-man penalty kill sometimes.
He's
with
so
his
good,
smarts. Yeah.
How do you like the beer so far?
Yeah, the beer is very solid.
I had a listener feedback that we need to talk more about the beer and go more in depth of explaining it.
Okay. No, that's good because I remember a couple of months ago I was bouncing ideas off of you about a new rating system for the beer.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll unveil that we'll tweak it and unveil that for the next episode.
So you've done no work towards that.
I've been working tirelessly on stats and research and like unbelievable.
No, this is
buying new gear. Mostly buying new gear for the podcast.
It's a nice beer. It's a typical pale ale.
Yeah, dark. It pours darker than I thought.
It's creeping towards an IPA.
And
it's borderline, I'd say. I would probably buy this one actually in the store. I'm actually really enjoying it.
It's good. Would you fill a growler?
I haven't filled a growler in a long time.
No?
Not big. Once they came out with bombers, it's much more of a bomber guy. In the summer, there's a lot of like more like not really beer in the summer, more like the nudes. But
I fill growlers when there's going to be like 4 or more of us here drinking, at a barbecue or something like that.
But growler's only 6 beers.
I know, but then you get a growler of one thing and then a couple bombers or some tall cans or something like that, and
you want to be like the cool dad with a cool beer.
No, I have like a bomber carrier off the belt, walking down the road with a couple hipster with a couple of bombers on my belt. Yeah, but no, I would rebuy this beer just because it's down easy. It goes down easy.
It's a slow easy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was, for one, shocked that Liljegren made the 23-man roster.
Do you think he's just there because his dad's the manager?
It feels like Liljegren's not really here, but he's here.
Yeah, because he's kind of just had an okay camp. No one ever said much about him.
But if they're keeping him just to have him like sit in the press box for a month, like that's hinders his development. Like, why would you want to mess around with your 2017 first round draft pick?
Well, maybe the plan is to just have him practice with the big team for a while. Get that culture, get those reps in practice, do the battle drills with the big boys, and then maybe he goes down and anchors the blue line down there.
So who on the defensive end then is sitting in the press box on Wednesday night eating popcorn?
Oh, Justin Hall.
Well, okay.
Yeah. And it'll be Marinson. So it'll be Hall and Liljegren.
So no, you're saying Marinson will be playing?
Yeah, so Hall and Liljegren will be in the press box.
Okay, and so then moving up, you have Sandin, Marinson as our third pairing, and then who would you say is our number 1 D pair? Would you say it's Muzzin, Barry, or CC Riley?
That's a real mind bender. Like,
I know it is for me.
I think any pairing that has your best defenseman is your number 1 pairing. I mean, Doughty and anybody would be LA's number 1 pairing.
Yep.
All right, OEL and anybody would be Arizona's.
So who's our best defenseman?
Morgan Riley. Okay. Morgan Riley. Like, I know you didn't watch any exhibition.
I watched a period on Saturday.
Yeah. Riley has another gear this year. Like, I think he did something with his skating. He worked with Barb or something like that, and he is flying. So, does CC downgrade that status as our top pairing? Do we have 1A and 1B?
I'm withholding any judgment on CC. I'm giving him 10 games.
Yeah. Like
10 regular season games. I need to watch him play.
Yeah.
I think it'd be unfair for us to not let him give him a month.
That would be typical of us. That would be typical of Leaf fans in general, and this isn't going to be a typical year.
Did we not say Hainsey for Norris like 1 month into his 5 games into his tenure?
Hainsey for Norris.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did we? Yes or no?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, but that's going to be fun on Wednesday watching all those ex-Leafs play against us on opening night.
Who is on there? So it's Zaitsev,
Brown, Hainsey, Ennis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that's a freaking 20% of a roster.
Good memory there.
Yeah, the Ennis one I always wanted to say Buffalo for Ennis, but that was
dig deep on that
was previous. One. Yeah, I rolled my eyes in the back of my head thinking of that last one.
So you have Muzzin Barry as our second line D pairing, and then CC Riley as number 1.
Yeah.
What's your going into the season? Are you happy with this decor compared to years past? Do you think it could be better? Where's your mindset with it?
I didn't expect it to be this good 2 months ago, so I'm very happy with it.
So this is pre-Barry trade,
post CC. Like, after all those guys required,
yeah,
I still expected it to be a little sketchy, and I think it might be the emergence of Sandin. And I mean, I know the guy hasn't played a single regular season game against Connor McDavid.
He's exciting to watch.
He seems to have composure, and if if Babcock likes him, like he is the overcooking him in the minors guy, right?
Yep.
So if he either likes him because he likes him, or he likes him because Dubas manipulated it where he has no other options. But he's looked really good. So I'm pleasantly surprised at how I believe our defense has shaped up.
Will Sandin ever play for the Marlies again?
That is a good question, and I say no. I think he's done. I think he's an NHL player now.
What happens when Dermott comes back?
I think you might see. Given I'd have to see those 10 games of CC. Like, I think that is the.
Do you think it could get to a point though of where it's like put CC on waivers to send him down? Level?
No, 7th D though, maybe. You could have Sand and Dermott as your third pair.
But would you want to be saving that cap hit though? Even though you can only save $1 million of it, but
I think they'd trade him before they did that. Like, I think you could find a team to take him. I think that's, like I think I said last time, that's our $4.5 million in cap space at the ready if we need it.
Given it is episode 69, do you think they'll go with the pump and dump strategy here, like they did with Dion Phaneuf?
No, they will not go with the pump and dump. I had a poll today. Did you see that poll about the captains?
I did. I was the first one to vote on it.
Okay. Even if Phaneuf is unemployed whenever they do this fucking thing, would he be there at the press conference as a previous captain, or is it just too soon?
Wouldn't bother me either way.
I think he'd feel silly, embarrassed that he's not in the league, and he might just take a.
He's making $7 million this year. Like,
yeah, that's not bad.
Like, and he's married to a movie star.
Who's paying it? Ottawa.
Ottawa and LA.
Yeah. So yeah,
good old.
I'm
Lou.
happy with the D. Are you happy with the D?
I am happy with the D.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Sandin. Saw him a bunch last year in the World Juniors,
yes,
up
we
close
did.
and live, which very impressive. Not just with his skating, but his just overall hockey sense with making smart plays. I'm excited to see that creativity at the NHL level. Obviously, with him being on the third D pairing, I'm assuming he'll be going up against primarily third and fourth liners.
Sure.
And so, like, hopefully he can excel. And we have that conversation is Sandin making a push to be in the top 4? I would much rather be talking about that versus, get CC out of our top 4. Like, who's pushing? Who do we got there?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of those kind of references as we sort of find things to complain about sometimes, or things that don't suit us perfectly well.
No, that's you.
They no, it's not me. There was from 06 to 2016 the team didn't make the playoffs.
They almost did the 1 year.
Yeah. Well, no, they did actually. They did the lockout season and they lost to Boston up 4-1 in the third. Okay. But you know what I mean. Like,
oh yeah, we've forgotten about that.
There's worse things. There's worse things.
So moving into the forward group now.
Yeah.
So we have 13 forwards as of right now sitting on the roster. So we have Timoshaw. So the lines today in practice were Timoshaw, Spezza, Gauthier, with Shore as the 13th forward. Thoughts on that?
Biggest surprise that Goat wasn't somehow a victim of all this.
I cannot believe the Goat has made the roster.
As soon as Spezza got signed, it's like, yeah, well, it's been fun.
Goat's played his 200 games in the NHL.
Yeah.
He'll
maybe a spot on another team for him somewhere. Maybe he could be useful on a lesser team, but he's there. Like, he did something.
I feel though, if he gets out of the gate slow, it'll be a quick you're out.
Yeah.
It won't be a slow descent.
I feel that I think Babcock would be looking for a quick hook on Spezza before Goat. Like, I think Goat might have a longer leash than Spezza has.
Interesting. Why do you think that?
Because Babcock's always had a soft spot for the Goat, like that soft spot in the top of a baby's head, like that. And I don't think he's enamored with the idea of having to train Spezza to be a fourth line player. Like I think he'll be very impatient with that process.
It's either you be a fourth line player or you're not.
Don't like first toe drag or first mistake out of the gate. Like I think Spezza's pro enough to adapt, but we'll see if his feet move fast enough.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. I think, and Gauthier found another gear. Him and Riley have been drinking some sort of skating potion this offseason.
Moving then into our third line of Mikheyev, Kerfoot, Moore. I'm really excited for this line. I think it's gonna be real good.
Mikheyev's
he's a big fucker.
He's an impressive player.
Yeah.
I pumped the brakes on some of the Datsuk comparisons.
Who's saying Datsuk?
There's even some credible people.
Do you just follow Russian bots on Twitter?
Well, just the nude ones. No, but
asking for money. Click on this link.
I was local singles are waiting to talk to you. I was waiting. I thought this would be another one of those Babcock World Championship pet projects that might not be as advertised, kind of like Oceanov, yeah. Or I mean even Borgman and Rosen were kind of that way too. But this guy looks like he has actual NHL tools.
It's going to be interesting once Hyman comes back. I really feel that Trevor Moore is going to absurd himself, and it's going to be like Trevor Moore, the fourth line player. I loved him more in the playoffs last year. By all accounts, he's had a great preseason.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a fantastic player this year. Mm-hmm. Like a guy that people love. Just he's a pit bull.
Yeah.
Works his bag off every game. Like just that guy that almost like a Cottery replacement.
Yeah, but it's okay to have good players on your third and fourth lines too. They don't always have to. Hey,
good or good.
Good. And he doesn't have to push through. What do we complain about with the last two seasons in the Boston series is these unheralded guys, score key goals in big games, right? And I wouldn't mind if he was a third line guy and just saved it for the playoffs, and he was our Jake DeBrusk of 2 years ago. And
I was thinking Jake DeBrusk.
Yeah, I know. And Nolan Chikari, didn't he score? What his name is? He scored a big goal in Game 7 last year. Some fourth liner on Boston. We need those guys. We can't.
Fuck Boston.
I know. We're not playing him in the playoffs. We'll get to that later, anyways.
So then, I'm not going to say our second or our first line because really we have a top 6, 1A, 1B. Johnson, Matthews, Nylander, Kapanen, Tavares, Marner. Absolutely nasty top 6. Rivaled with only really Tampa. Trying to think of another top 6. One line is Boston's not there with they have one really solid line.
Edmonton can match our top 2 centers.
Yes, they can.
That's about it.
That top 6 is absolutely just awesome. I am so pumped for the year. I think, like I said last pod, Nylander's going to be a point-a-game player. I think he's going to just put up 80-some-odd points this year. It'll be a big fuck you campaign, and him and Matthews will be lethal all year.
I was watching Willie early in the preseason, and he was trying to do a lot of this those feathery shots that he does. He just kind of trying to finesse the puck past, element of surprise, little finesse shot. And I'm like, come on, man! And then the other night he just launched that one on the power play.
Nice goal
into just a really tight spot, and
where the refs had to check if it was in or not.
Do that. But I think you say we don't have a first line, but I think that just like I had said, if your best defenseman is whoever's playing with your best defenseman is your number one pairing. If you have a first overall center, that's your first.
We have 2.
Wait, we have 2. That was going to be my point. We have 2 first overall draft pick centers in their primes, and I don't want to get too hyped about this.
Who was in my opinion, our best player in the playoffs last year was John Tavares because of what he did against Bergeron, and then I know his points weren't there. He had a couple goal, 5 points. I think it was 5 points.
Yeah,
but he shut down Bergeron and beat him in the face-off dot.
He did.
That was unreal.
Yeah.
Like I think Tavares brings such a different element to the team. I'm like Tavares is a good hockey player. Like he's a really good hockey player.
I think a lot of these players this year, like I think organically, just the improvement because of development is going to show this year.
Do you think?
I think even Tavares. Like I watched him the other night. He was controlling the play, protecting the puck, like just like he does. But it was like almost at another level for him even this year. Like,
do you think all the bullshit with the contracts that's now over for the next 5 years, do you think that just takes away a lot of the shit in the dressing room? Everyone's getting paid and they're just playing hockey now.
Yeah, I think so. I've never been in a pro dressing room.
You've never made $15 million.
Never made, no.
And when a direct deposit.
Yeah, but I imagine when they interview those guys and they say, "Nah, we're not worried about it. Willie, he's doing what he has to do for the." They're thinking about it. They think about it a lot and they miss him. And they're not the same team without guys when they're not there, right?
I think they now will be able to hold themselves accountable too. Where it's like if some guy's not going, it's like, all right, like you got to get one now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Now looking at this forward group, obviously we still have Hyman to add, Dermott on the back end, but specifically now we see what our 23-man roster is. Are we naming a captain before Wednesday?
I don't think so.
Did you read the Jonas Siegel report today?
No, I didn't.
So he put out kind of like a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Led with it that it's starting to be leaked and pushed now from Almal SC that Tavares will be named captain.
I've heard those leaks. And then I saw a tweet by Paul Hendricks today. I think he did a bit of a Q&A with his Twitter.
Henny tweets.
And he said he answered a guy back saying, I got the over-under at December of where they're going to name a captain. So I don't know what he knows. That was a pretty specific comment by a guy who's pretty much an insider there, right?
No, he's an employee.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know what I don't know if this whole Matthews thing is pushed the.
I would think so.
Yeah, I think they're going to wait till everyone's happy and smiling and they're in the standings up there, and then they're just going to drop it.
No, I think it's
because it should have happened today.
No, well, tomorrow.
Tomorrow could.
Because today's you complete the roster.
Yeah.
But tomorrow will get it done before the start of the regular season. And you know what? I think
it's JT.
Yeah,
no matter when they do it, it's JT.
He should have been named captain when they signed the contract.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to my son today, and he's like I don't like it's fucking JT. It always has been. It should be. And yeah. I never thought that because I always thought the young heir apparent first round pick is always the captain. McDavid, Taves.
Matthews,
and then Matthews, right? By default, but
JT also is a first overall pick.
Absolutely, I know. But yeah, so I'm all for it. Let's go.
Do you think though, devil's advocate, that not picking Matthews means that he walks in 5 years?
No, I don't think so. No, I think depends on the success of the team.
Yeah,
I don't think if they're one cup in. And there's more to come. Like I think that they're gonna want more.
They get one cup. Nothing matters. Like this whole cap, nothing matters. They won a cup.
Yeah. No, it's a good check, please. I'm good. I had a funny thought, and I tweeted it out. And I kind of thought about. It was the goal the other night when Matthews sauced it to Tavares in the slot on the power play, and so Tavares batted it in because his uncle was a Pearl Cross player.
And his hand-eye is unreal.
Yeah. And I thought, I bet you Matthews and Tavares just never talk. They don't seem like they would ever be guys that would be chummy. So I kind of said, I feel like Matthews and Tavares have never met. Off the ice. They just seem that they're such polar opposite types of players. It just struck me as funny that those two guys are actually on the same team. They're just he's so stoic, and Matthews is trying to carve out this niche as this just kind of hip fashionista kind of Toronto guys. It just struck me as funny.
All right.
That's all I got.
So I think we did a real good deep dive there into the lineup and our thoughts on it.
Projections.
Let's get into projections a little bit
because the goalies don't matter. It's Hutch. It's Freddie.
It's Freddie, and like it doesn't even matter.
Freddie's playing 84 games, and that's the story.
Do you want to talk about the
No,
goalies?
I don't want to talk about goalies because that's just going to take me down a Babcock rabbit hole. And this is a positive season preview.
That's good. You're being positive. Start the year. My beer's already gone. Fantastic. I really like
really
it.
good beer.
Like I would put this in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, rotation. Man,
Yeah.
it's hard to find bombers these days. Breweries are really cutting back on it. Going to the tall cans.
Really?
Yeah, must be.
You got to go to
It's
the.
cheaper to can it
Well,
than
like
to
you're
bomber
not
it.
going to the right liquor place. Then at the places that I go to, it's
Big bomber selection.
oh yeah.
Maybe that's just Liquor Planet's analytics because we live in kind of like a redneck area. Maybe it's like they're not a bomber crowd; they're a can crowd because you can't crush a bomber on your head after you drink it, right?
Well, you never know.
I mean, it takes its toll.
All right, so jumping in then to point projections. So let's do it individual. Who is our leading goal scorer and how many goals at season's end?
Goals, assuming health, Matthews with 51. He's going to join that elite group of Dave Anderchuk, Rick Vive, and Gary Lehman as the only Leafs to score 50 goals.
Yeah, it was funny because I'm Matthews as well, but I'm going 61. I think it's that Steven Stamkos-esque type
I'm
year
not even
for
going to
him,
argue with that because
and he just goes off.
if he plays between 76 and 82 games, with that power play, stick on the inside. Oh, please. I'd love that.
Who ends the year with the most points on the Leafs?
Well, assuming that if 20 of those goals are scored on the power play, then it's going to be Marner.
Does Marner hit the century mark?
In points?
Yep.
I mean, we're like 1978 Montreal Canadiens, these projections, but
Kucherov, there's 6 or 7 guys with over 100 points last year.
It's now
Kucherov
more the norm.
at 130.
It's now more the norm.
Yeah.
Marner 94 points last year, makes more money, so you're obviously better when you make more money. So 98 points for Marner.
So we're not, then that's the max on the team.
61 goals. 50. No, I think Tavares will be the team's leading scorer.
How many points?
107.
107.
He's having a career year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big projection.
He's going to be in on everything.
Are you just pulling out these numbers out of your ass?
I've researched this.
You're just writing them down as you go.
But I'm writing them down so that we can look back and but I've had that number in my head for a while.
For me, I'm going our total point leader will be Marner with 102 points.
Marner, 102. How many goals for Marner?
25.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think he hits high 20s. I think he pushes 30.
25's getting close to
Because
30.
I feel...
If you round up from 25, you get 30.
I think he might have maybe a half a dozen shorthanded goals this year.
Okay.
I think he that penalty kill, like if you start rolling out guys like Cappy and Johnson and who's that guy whose dad's the manager?
Timashov.
Timashov.
You had Timashov, Moore, Mikheyev.
More on the PK.
Yeah.
He scored a shorty.
So we will score
Detroit,
100
against
shorthanded
Jonathan Bernier.
goals.
I think we're going to be threatening. I don't know about guys standing in the right place on the back end on the penalty kill, like old Hainsey.
How many points will Nylander have to end the year?
Modest projection.
69.
I think I'm early low 70s, so like 73.
Just missing a point a game.
Yeah,
type
just
player.
missing a point a game.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's streaky.
Yeah.
I mean, if he can touch the puck before Matthews touches it, that's a lot. He can get a lot of apples.
How many?
Right.
How many wins for Anderson?
I got the Leafs at 111 points, so that's going to be 50 wins plus some OTLs and stuff like that. 18 starts for the backup.
Well, they said it could be 14 starts for the backup.
It's going to be a bit more than that, I
there's
think.
14 back-to-backs.
41 wins for Freddie.
So 40 plus.
Yeah, 40 plus.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think 40 plus is
What do you think our shots on goal totals are going to be like this year? Around in that
30 range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like peppered quite a bit.
Yep.
Why?
Because we're built to be in the offensive zone.
Shots against per game.
Oh, I thought you meant shots for.
No.
Oh,
shots against.
Shots against.
Is it going to be as bad as it has been in previous years, or are we going to move? Are we going to get the puck out more?
I think
not
we'll
get caught so much.
I think we'll still be in the mid-20s probably.
Yeah.
I think we'll still give up chances. Like we're a little bit of riverboat gambler type team.
Yeah. We'll give up chances.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go with some team projections now.
Yep. So I said it last week. My feeling and sense is that we're gonna win the division. That's that's where my head is at with it.
How many points is that gonna take?
Like probably 110 plus.
Yeah, not 126 like Tampa had last year. Not a runaway situation.
No. I hope we don't get into that situation because it hurts us. Because we if we're in that scenario, if we're on cruise control going into the playoffs, we might get tampa'd.
Yeah, there was a lot of factors. I was talking to a guy at work today about Tampa last year, and there was some factors that went against them right when the playoffs started, mostly around Hedman. I saw him. He miraculously got healthy from his concussion when the playoffs started. Was really bad in games 1 and 2. Made terribly uncharacteristic plays. They got down 2-0, and then he didn't play in games 3 and 4, and it was over. I think that was a huge. That's a Norris defenseman who plays 30 minutes a game, who was just out of your lineup even when he was in it.
Going off of that, just randomly.
Yeah.
Do you think the trend stays with Riley playing 30 minutes a game like he was in the preseason?
No, I don't know what that was all about.
What was that about?
That was weird.
Yeah.
That's the fact that Babcock is actually not a very good bench manager. He just isn't. he gets caught up in games and forgets things. Forgot to take Riley off the ice.
Fair.
I think 111 points is the number this year. I think last year was just when you think about it, they went 500 in their last 52 games and still ended up with 100 points.
Yeah.
That's not happening this year. They're going to make adjustments. They're going to be better. They're not going to go on power play slumps to the degree they went on last year. A lot of things are going to break for them this year.
Is there anything that you need to say before the season starts? Like, say it now. Like, don't tweet some crazy rant or say it now.
Here's my tweet.
Get as crazy as you need to be right now.
If Babcock continues to take shots at Dubas in the media about the type of players he doesn't have on his team, when they hit a mini slump or the PK's not working well, he's fucking gone.
Mid-season?
He's being shot into the sun.
Get it out now.
Get it out. That's it. Like no shots about the type of players he has.
Cleanse yourself.
That's it. I think Kyle Dubas has the power to just because that shows that he's not going to adapt, and if that carries into the playoffs, do you wait for it to fail again, or do you make a proactive move? I think Dubas, this is his team. This roster stinks of Kyle Dubas, and it's an anti-Babcock roster. I think they're at odds, and I don't think it would take much for him to be punted, winning or not.
How good did it feel to say that?
That feels great, and I really that's got to be a self-fulfilling prophecy for me. I really hope that happens.
Because what if it doesn't? But then you're just eating crow. At least win the cup.
Well, they're not going to win it. They're not going to win the cup this year if Mike Babcock's their coach, and they might not anyways. It's a hard trophy to win, but he's not out coaching 4 different coaches in the playoffs to win the cup.
Do you think he could out coach Trotz?
No. No. He could out coach Glenn Gullickson.
Could Trotz coach his team though?
I'd love
with Trotz's style. Could he coach this team?
Yeah, he could have everybody buying in. Yeah, I don't think the players like Babcock. I don't think it's as much of a buy-in there for him. I think like the sound of that guy's voice, they probably just go home and like drink. Like, why do you think Matthews was drunk all summer?
I don't need to get into that.
What you got? Anything you want to say before?
I'm pumped. I'm good. I'm ready to go. I'm excited.
I'm glad I got that off my chest. Thanks for offering that up.
Yeah, I could feel it there.
Yeah, I feel like you're my human resources manager. You're walking me through this.
It was percolating.
That was good. Hey, let's percolate one more thing.
What else do you have to get off your chest?
We're running a hockey pool this year.
It's the worst. I'm not even signing up for it.
You fucking better sign up for it. I want to crush you.
I'm not Trevor. I'm sorry, but it's way too much for me. I don't understand it.
It's just I have some radical point values. That's all. Like, it's not just one goal, 1 point for a goal, 1 point for an assist.
No one does that.
I've administered hockey pools in the past. Like 15 years ago, when officepools.com was just a startup.
Did you do it like with a pen and paper?
No, that's when we first were able to get an online company to start.
I think we could have had a lot more entries if it was much user friendly.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because here's my take on being an administrator of a 1-on-1 pool. People would get out of it too soon. It could be November, and if you picked incorrectly, you're not interested in it anymore. But to get points in bunches,
because that's where that style of pool is the way of the past. So no one does that anymore. It's all about the draft. You draft players and
I mean, I don't have time to be the administrator of a drafting. I don't think people.
But you don't though. It's all done online. Like I'm in 3 hockey pools this year, and I'm in 3 football
nightly.
pools.
Daily roster submissions.
But the website lets you go in. You like click a button. It preloads all your rosters for your week, so you can check it as you need to. You keep going with it.
Yeah.
And it's real user friendly. I'm in 3. I did a draft last night.
You know what the best part of my old pools I used to run is when there used to be fighting in the NHL. You could pick a goon, and so you got their penalty minutes. That gave you. Two of the pools I play in have penalty minutes. So a guy like Tom Wilson, super valuable player. But that's not going to get you mega points at once. Like there's, like I put in 15 bonus points if a D gets a hat trick.
But you could be crazy.
No, it's not.
But but the way it's set up now though is you have a head-to-head matchup for the week, and if you win your matchup, you get 1 point. That's how it works. But this is just a hockey pool. You draft your players, and then you get 10 reserve players. I tried to help you. You wanted to do your own thing. You didn't try and help me. You just told me I was stupid. I never said you were stupid. I'm going to go back. I never said you were stupid. Scrolling back. No, I'm not scrolling back. Because I didn't say it. And if I put money towards it for the prize. Very negative. I was not negative. I was just voicing my opinion. I just think of just a vanilla. It doesn't matter. People are listening to this. People are paying good money to listen to this podcast, and we shouldn't argue about our pool. Sign up for the pool. It's going to be super fun. I said it should be 1 point for each category. You're like, gross. I said it's easier to track, and you know where you stand. I don't have to track it. It's not like football and hockey. I've never seen it different in any pool I've ever played. You're like, we're different, ha ha ha. I'll take the OT out for you, and everything else is fun and unique. But then you didn't even take the OT. You know what? I did. You left it in on purpose. I changed it. I hit save. The saves didn't take. I have no idea what happened. Then you're just like, ladies and gentlemen. Weird. After we talked yesterday, I adjusted the scoring and took a few things off, including the OT stuff and a few other things. The changes didn't save. Oh well. Guess we will embrace it. Ha ha. Tweet coming. You know why they didn't? You know why I don't think they You know why I don't think they took? Because I had already entered my team. So I think once the team's entered, you can't change the parameters. But if they didn't have. I never said it was stupid. If they didn't have, I could tell by your tone. If people didn't use these parameters, if people didn't use these parameters, they wouldn't be available to set up that way. You know what? I'll put a team in just to spite you. Put a team in. Yeah.
Make it like the most disparaging team name towards me that you like. Trevor's a C word or something like that.
69.
All right. So thanks everyone for tolerating that our unique way of promoting our hockey pool.
Bickering.
The beer was good.
Excellent beer.
Thank you, me, for buying it.
Thank you, Trevor. Fuck
Thanks
you,
for
Wyatt.
nothing, Wyatt. And let's have a score projection for opening night, which we're not doing anything opening night because we're just going in different directions.
5-1.
5-1 Leafs.
Obviously.
Does Willie score? Because if Willie doesn't score, I owe someone who retweeted our tweet 4 craft beers in the mail.
I retweeted it.
Yeah.
Can I win?
Yeah.
Will I win?
I'm literally putting names in a hat. I'm gonna go make a little.
There has to be an easier way.
No, because that's a fair way. How am I gonna to look at all the retweets? I just have to say, oh, I like that person the best, or I know that person.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that.
Just pick me.
I'm gonna say 6-2 Leafs, 3 for 4 on the power play.
Ooh,
Getting really specific.
very nice.
All right, that's our season preview, unlike any others. Go Leafs, go.